So here's my final tour of this house, and it's completely done right now, so I'm going to show you a bunch of things around it. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you a tour all the way around it, and then I don't know how long that will take, and then when that's over I'm going to answer a bunch of questions and just talk about just talk about it a little bit, because that's probably the less interesting part. And so if you don't want to watch the whole video, you can just watch the beginning. So starting with the front, and let me get the lights on and I'll show you all the electrical stuff in just a minute. So starting at the front here, there is the main entrance, which is underneath this porch. I was going to put railing on the porch, but I decided not to because I really actually don't feel like it. And then this room here to the left is like the living room. There is a switch. Now this light isn't as bright as the other ones for some reason. Actually, some of them are darker, and I'll actually talk about that in a second. But they each do have their own switch. It's around the corner in each room, so they're all separately controlled. So here's the porch, and it has a little cricket there. For in real life you would need that so the water wouldn't collect here. This was all framed out like a real house. I mean, it's not supposed to be like a dollhouse. It's supposed to be like an architectural model, and so I framed it just like you would a real house. Like there's a valley rafter going up here, and then the other ones go down into it, so it's all hollow out underneath there. So same thing with the roof, and I'll show you inside the attic in just a minute. So you got a double gable here, and there you can see the roof still coming down there. You got the ridge caps on the top to make it look nice and clean where the ridge is. I like the way I did these windows. It just makes them a little bit nicer looking. So this is like the dining room, and you can see the beam going around there. There's a hallway down the middle. And by the way, if you want to see the floor plans for this and the elevations and all that, if you go to my Facebook page, which is the same thing as my username, they're all on there, and then you could look at it. The floor plans are a little bit confusing to see because it's mainly just measurements, but I do have some elevations and stuff on there. So at the end of this hallway, there's the stairs. You go up, there's the landing, and then you go to the top. And to the right, through that door, is the laundry room. Well, let me finish on the first story. So underneath that, this is just another entrance. It's a little hallway. To the right is your entrance to the garage, which is a huge garage. So there's a back door there, and then this corner. Now, you see how those two lights are a lot more dim than those two lights? Just keep that in mind, and I'll show you what I think is causing that in a minute. I just noticed that the other day when I finished this. So there's a light switch here for that half and a light switch here for that half. Just because the more lights you put on a circuit, the dimmer they get, so I wanted to make it two different circuits. And if you go back and turn left, it just goes into that hallway. And if you go straight, it goes into the sunroom. So before I move, I'll show you the second story. So here it's just like a bedroom with a window there. This is a 2-story foyer, and you can see the railing there. And then there's a 2-story family room back behind. So it's like a little balcony type thing. There's another bedroom here. Now, of course, these don't have like closets. It's not a realistic layout, just because when you're building with a popsicle stick, see how wide they are? I think it's the same as building with like a 2x12. So imagine framing your walls with like a 2x12. That's kind of what it's like. So the walls are real thick, and it's hard to do little rooms like closets and stuff. It's not really that possible. It would look stupid. So you go out, turn right, and then that's the hallway there. And this light switch controls half the hallway. And then, like I said, that's the laundry room. So I'm going to move around this way next. So you have this big gable here. This is where the porch ends. This, where's the light for in here? I don't know where the light switch is for that room. There's a light in there. I don't know. Oh, it's, no, that's for that room. I don't know. So this, I didn't really plan this out too well with that trim piece, because it kind of overlaps the window a slight bit, but whatever. That's the main hallway you're looking at. And then at the end of it, there's this little bathroom here. And then this room is huge. It's the big family room. And the light switch is right here. So you can see all the lights. This is the fireplace. Some people think that's weird if you've never seen that before. I don't know how new it is, but houses nowadays, at least around here, the builders, instead of having a full stack for the chimney, it's a, for the fireplace, it's just a little box, and then that allows your fireplace to be recessed in the wall, and then there's just a little metal box that comes out, and that's the air intake, and then it's usually gas-powered fireplace, so that's just kind of, it's not like traditional, but it's it's what they do around here. My house has one. And so lots of windows in there. And let me get my phone out so I could use the light, and I'll show you inside the attic so you could see how the framework is. So looking down, you can see the joists, and then back in there you can see all the rafters. You can see the ridge board at the top. All those black things are wires with electrical tape to hold them together. And you can see that back wall, which we'll get over that way in a minute. Look how nice and smooth the roof is. Look how straight that is with that ridge cap. Makes it look real nice. Moving around. This is still that same room. See that beam there, or column holding up that second story. That's the bedroom there. A little balcony, and then that other bedroom. And there's that hallway. And then this is the kind of where your table would be, I guess. I should have put a door here, or a door in the back. I didn't really do that. You kind of have some countertops there. I didn't really do too much with that. And that you can see the stairs straight ahead. Up above, here's this bedroom. And then moving around farther, is the sunroom. And straight ahead is out that front door, and then that's into the kitchen. And there's more windows. That's to go to the garage. There's a bedroom here with some small windows. And that's it. Alright, let me show you the electrical. So the house plugs in to the wall just like that. And let me see. So I have this panel here to get inside there. It blends in pretty well, not amazing, but it's good enough. And you open this up, there is a light in here. Top you see. And like I said with the framing, see it's all hollow inside here. It's actually framed out like a real house. That I could have taken that out. You can see all the wires coming down. This is where they all meet up. And this would be like your breaker box in your house. It's just the control panel, and all of your power is coming in through this wire, comes in here, and then goes up the wall, and it feeds these two things, and then all your circuits plug into these two things, and then that's how they get their power. And so there's two of them. They were like 15 bucks each, and then the wires join together, and then they come out as one. So you can see my little light back here. I have two switches up here. One is for this attic light, and one is for the front porch, because I couldn't find a good spot for the light switch. And then, so on these control panels, everything just plugs right in. Basically, you would take your wires. Now, I have a tutorial on how to do all the wiring. It's somewhere on my channel from a while ago. It's like 45 minutes long. But I show you how to do all this. But you would take the wires. These little plug things go on the end, and then it plugs into that. And I just glued them in so they don't fall out, because that's a problem I had on the last house. And then they have their switches to turn them to the main power switch. Now this is the one, all these lights that you see that are dim, and that, trust me, they look a lot nicer when it's dark. If you want to see pictures of it in the dark, there's a picture in the time lapse of this in the beginning and at the end, and on my Facebook page. I don't think I'll make a video, maybe I will, of it at night, but it looks a lot nicer. But right now, like, you could tell some lights are more dim than others. All the dim ones are on this power strip, this bottom one, I believe. And see how this orange light is on? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's for. I don't know if it's overloaded or what. I mean, I have them all filled, I think. Yeah, they're all filled except for the last one. So, I don't know what that means. So, maybe there's something wrong with it, which would suck. But whatever. So that's the explanation for that. And you can see here how this gable is, how it gets shorter. And then how this roof turns and goes into that. And then this is a neat roof angle. This was a little bit hard to frame, this roof, but it came out nice. So, alright, now I'm gonna, I guess, oh, I want to show you. Pretty proud of how straight this wall came out. It's like perfectly straight. There's no curves in it or anything. I'm gonna turn these lights off, by the way. Put that back on. See, I just built it to fit. So, I get a lot of questions on the time lapse for that house, which that one right now is at almost 1.7 million views for the time lapse, which is the reason that I built this one, because I was hoping it would be as popular. Obviously it's not that popular yet, the video, but hopefully it gets up there. But I get a lot of the same questions, so I'm going to go ahead and try to answer them. So, let me just read them off. How many sticks did it take? This one, I went through the receipts. I guess it took 8 boxes, and there's 1,000 per box. Obviously, I don't use every one because some of them are warped and whatnot. But that's about 8,000 sticks, same as that one. And then 600 glue sticks for the glue gun. People always ask how old I am. I'm 17, but I was 15 when I started it. It took me. I started this in February of 2012. My birthday is in May, so I turned 15, or I turned 16 3 months after I started, and then I worked through it all throughout 2012, and then I finished it August 25th, 2013, so I'm now 17. Some people ask if they could buy it. It's not going to happen. What do I use to cut the sticks? Well, I do have a mini table saw. I don't really use it. I only use it for cutting like big beams when I have several sticks glued together, or like these porch columns. But I use these cutters. They're made for cutting branches, but they're called anvil cutters. They also make cutters designed specifically for this. You can just Google it. Where do you buy these sticks? No, I don't actually eat a popsicle for every one of these. A lot of people seem to leave that comment. I think and I hope that most of them are joking, but I think some of them are actually serious, and they actually think that I have to eat popsicles to get all these. No, you buy them in boxes. I get them at AC Moore. It's $5 for 1,000. You can buy them at Walmart, Michaels, you know, all over the place. Some people ask why I put so much effort onto the inside, like with walls and the doors and all the lights and everything, if you can't see inside. Well, obviously you can see inside because I just showed you inside and you could easily look in there. Yeah, if you want to see the floor plans, go to my Facebook page. I used to do a thing on the last house where I put a thing on the video if you wanted to see the floor plans to send me an email, and I put my email on there, and I was getting like 5 emails per day at one point, and it just sucked. Am I going to paint it? No. Am I going to stain it? No. It looks nice how it is. I like the variation of the wood color. It is a popsicle stick house. There's no reason for it to be painted. That would make it look cheesy, and that would take away from the fact that it's actually made out of all popsicle sticks. And I wouldn't want to screw it up. What else? What is the scale? It's 1/24th, which is pretty small. Took 18 months to build. Material cost was $278. However, by you watching my videos, that helps pay for it. So it's actually already all paid off. So by building these, I make revenue through YouTube, and so I actually make a profit. Not a very large profit, but a decent profit off of building these. So this is all paid for. Most of that cost was for the lighting. And actually, I'm going to go over the cost sheet in a minute, and I'll tell you everything I bought and how much it was, because a lot of people are curious about that. The camera I used to film the time-lapse was a Logitech C910. It's a webcam for $100. It films in high definition. I used video velocity to make the time-lapse, and I edited it with Sony Movie Studio 10, actually 11. I can't think of any other questions. I get a lot of them. If you have any questions, leave them below, as long as I didn't already answer them. People want to watch actual videos, not sped up, of me working on this. I do have those on my channel. I don't know. If you want to know how to frame it, I have tutorials on that. It's on my channel. I don't really know what else. Let me get that cost sheet. It's right over here. Yes, that is the third large house that I built, and the last. I kind of regretted starting it not long after I started, because it's a lot of work. It is kind of fun, but it takes up a lot of time, and I'm not exactly the, I don't exactly have the most time in the world to work on this kind of stuff, believe it or not. So that's the irony. A lot of people leave comments and say, you have a lot of free time. I wish I had the free time that you do. Well, that's actually not true at all. I have a lot less free time than a lot of other people. In the summer, I worked 2 jobs between working with a plumber and working my normal job. And I do a lot of other things. I cut a few grasses. I hang out with my friends a lot, go kayaking every once in a while. I went on like 3 vacations, so I didn't really have a lot of free time. And now during the school year, I work after school, and plus with homework, that's my senior year, I don't really have a lot of time to work on this at all. So at some points, I would go full weeks without working on it at all, and then maybe it was like once a week for like 2 hours. So that's why it took 18 months. I mean, if I had worked on it every day, it would have taken like 4 months. So I really don't have a lot of free time at all. Oh, people always ask. See, the main people that watch my videos are, it usually seems to be like architects and people who know about this kind of stuff, which is what this is intended for. A lot of random people. And then for some reason I have a whole crowd of little girls that have hamsters and guinea pigs. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. I used to have a hamster, but for some reason they think that, they don't think, but they well, I don't know. They, I guess, are watching videos of little barns and things made for their guinea pigs. Also horses, like little fake horses. That's another popular one. And they, they look for little things for their hamsters to build for them to play in and live in. And I got a lot of comments saying, like, oh, this would be a great house for my hamster. Or, can you build me one for my hamster or whatever. That is, I'm sorry, but that's pretty dumb for something like this. Your hamster would go in there, it would find the deepest, darkest spot, like way in the middle somewhere where you couldn't reach it, and it would just curl up and die, and then it would rot, and you would never get it out of the house, or it would crap all over the floor, and there's no way you would clean it out, unless you were to put a detachable roof, which would be a pain. And people always ask also, why don't I have a detachable roof? Well, because there's so many wires, and it would just be a huge pain to do. You don't even know how difficult that would be, and it wouldn't be worth it. So, I mean, if you were to build one of these that was smaller and you could take the roof off and stuff, that sure would make a good little house for your pet. But something like this wouldn't. So here's my my cost sheet. So I mean, you could read it if you want to pause the video, but I'll just go down through it. All the wood was bought at AC Moore. All of the switches and wires were bought at Radio Shack, and then the lights and the power strip, all that stuff, was bought at a dollhouse store, because there's a lot of people who are into their dollhouses and build those kind of things. That's where you get that stuff. And so you can see how much it all cost and when I bought it, and then you go down the list. And so you add it up. For the electrical, it was $181, and for the wood and the glue, it was $96, so $278 total. I found the things were more expensive at Michael's than at AC Moore, and Michael's usually didn't have a lot in stock, and it was usually crappier brands. So I would go to AC Moore. I mean, it might be different for your area, but that's what I found. So I don't know. But that is the house. I don't know what else to talk about, and this video is long enough anyway, so I guess I'll just end it. But you can see the roof. I love the way that looks. I did a brick pattern for the roof, so the sticks go back and forth like that. And then for the walls, I did a 3-step pattern, so it looks a little bit more random, but it looks nice. So that's that. It's the last one, not doing any more. So go ahead, watch the time lapse if you didn't already, and then if you go to my channel, there's a ton of videos. There's the vlogs and everything that I made while building this, so I showed everything in detail like I'm doing now while I was building it. I think there's like 39 of them, so you can go and watch all that. It's all on my channel. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.